When I see them and they look like they're really struggling, it kind of breaks my heart, to be honest. So I would encourage people to consider learning more about the homeless, not to judge them. And so there was a boy that I tutored. He was in high school, and then there was a doctor that told him he would not pass high school. But with the help of a tutor, he was able to pass high school, and in fact, he is studying at university right now. I cannot say that it gives me like great joy or something, only because you see them suffering, you kind of feel sorry and suffer them for them in your heart. My name is Martine Lee. I tutor English and French currently, as well as a course called Introduction to Crime, that it's a university course. I'm a dating coach / events organizer for singles. I also have a secondary business in the summer, which is yard work. I also have an initiative that's not a business, but it's Martine's Weekend Sandwich Club, which is just my own money funded to buy sandwiches and food for the homeless in Stratford. I was in Stratford by accident. Long story, but in London I was abused by my ex-fiance, so I ran away to here. And so thank goodness Stratford is a nice city. There's many events, there's a beautiful river, nice parks. It's a nice city. It is kind of tough to find friends, and so when I came here it was kind of lonely, but over time, because I did all these events, businesses, initiatives, then I started to get to know more people. So being involved in the community and helping the community, it's pretty good. There is no men's homeless shelter, there's only women's homeless shelter, and I was trying to advocate for that. Not only there's no winter emergency shelter in general, but there's also no long-term men's homeless shelter. So that is the thing that I would wish for. And the City Hall said it will take 10 years to build that, but yeah, we will see if they keep their promise. I have a friend who's homeless, and he emailed me saying that he starved for 50 hours straight, like 50, because on the weekends, Stratford doesn't have any social services or food banks available for the homeless. So Saturdays and Sundays, all the homeless are starving. Unless they are able to beg for money, all right? So this inspired me to start the Weekend Sandwich Club, and I distribute snacks, juice, and sandwiches to the homeless on Saturdays mostly, and that way they have some food at least to cover them for the weekend. Helping the homeless is a big challenge because many of them have mental health problems, and it's not always easy to become their friend. But when I see them and they look like they're really struggling, it kind of breaks my heart, to be honest. So I would encourage people to consider learning more about the homeless, not to judge them. And yeah, I would encourage anyone who wants to join me in the efforts in Stratford, let me know. I cannot say that it gives me like great joy or something, only because you see them suffering, you kind of feel sorry and suffer them for them in your heart, right? So I wouldn't say that handing out food to the homeless makes me happy. It makes me at least slightly happy to know that they are not starving for 50 hours straight. Yeah, I mean, there were a few other volunteers that made sandwiches and provided some snacks a few weeks ago, but they are doing it out of their own money too. So I cannot expect every week that the volunteers would provide the food, right? So I just try to work extremely hard in my jobs, and I'm grateful for what I have. So the extra money that I have, I use it for the homeless. And then if I don't have too much money, I just give some small snacks instead of like a lot. So I just try my best, yeah. I wasn't aware of this word entrepreneur when I was a kid, so I just thought there were official jobs. But I just decided to become an entrepreneur in my mid-20s. So now I'm 37. I've been an entrepreneur since my mid-20s. I used to work for official employers such as call centers. Then later on, I met a lady. Her name is Lucy Jeffrey, and she's actually a very good entrepreneur. She taught me how to advertise myself on social media and how to own my own business. So she was my business coach, and then she kind of inspired me to have my own businesses. When I was studying at the University of Toronto, I was able to meet other students who needed help in French. So they actually wanted me to tutor them, but back then it was just a very part-time job. And then during the pandemic, when all the kids couldn't go to school, they needed tutoring. So I decided to become a full-time online tutor at that point. So I used to teach 2 autistic students. Autism, sometimes they cannot speak, but the high-functioning individuals who have autism, they still struggle with school, but they are able to get through with the help of a tutor. So there was a boy that I tutored. He was in high school, and then there was a doctor that told him he would not pass high school. But with the help of a tutor, he was able to pass high school, and in fact, he is studying at university right now, and I'm still able to keep in touch with him and understand how he's doing. When I didn't have much to do and I wanted to do something extra on top of my tutoring. So tutoring online, it's always on the computer, always at home. So I needed to breathe fresh air and be outside, be more active. So I decided yard work would be a great job for me because then I get exercise and be more in the outdoors. Quite a few clients said, you are so hardworking. Yeah, you have a great work ethic. You already have a full-time tutoring job, and then you're also doing this on the side and biking there. So I'm very proud of myself. My clients are also very proud of me. Yes, there was a life coach when I used to live in London, Ontario. Her name is Jenna Goodhand. She actually was my coach to help me figure out my life. So it's called a life coach. They just guide you on decisions in life, career path, and possibly relationships too. So I just talked to her a lot, and I wanted to become a life coach after she taught me a lot. So I thought I'll get the life coach certificate and then I'll try doing it as a part-time job. So what ended up happening is I have a passion for relationships and dating. So I read many books about dating and relationships. So I ended up advertising myself as a dating coach in particular. And quite a few clients that, for example, they're new to the country, they don't know what Canadian dating is like. Maybe they are used to arranged marriages or something like that. Or possibly they are Canadians, but they are very shy. They don't know how to communicate to people of the opposite gender. So they end up asking me for advice. And I didn't get like a whole ton of clients, but over the years, I've had at least 10 clients so far. A lot of shy people benefited from my coaching because they're afraid of going on a date and then they have nothing to say. They are just quiet. So then I help them with their communication skills, help them to think of topics to ask the other person, and it gave them confidence. So the one-on-one coaching that I did was helpful for their personal growth and overcoming their shyness. And then as I mentioned, I'm also an events organizer for singles. So as an events organizer, I have many people joining one event. And then as the host, I try to encourage shy people to talk to others as well. Well, my goal is not really to be famous, but I guess I don't really have any good answer because I kind of just want to not be remembered and just everybody like be doing well. And I don't really care too much about myself. Like, you know how I help the homeless, right? So like, you know, if the homeless get a home and then they are doing well, like if nobody remembers my name, I don't even care. But I would hope for more generous volunteers to help donate food. And that's all I ask, really. I don't have really gigantic dreams or something. The politicians aren't really listening. They are saying there's not enough money and things like that. So then the churches are trying to fundraise, but I don't really know how much they can fundraise. It almost sounds like a hopeless situation. So I did my best to connect with the churches, connect with city hall councilors and the mayor, but it kind of sounds like they don't have any big plan for the winter emergency shelter. Like, if you want me to say some kind of big dream, it would be the winter emergency shelter for the homeless. But because it just seems like nobody's providing enough funds, nobody's working hard for this, the least I could do is a sandwich club. My email is dearmartine@gmail.com, the one that I use for the sandwich club. So it's DEAR, like dear to start a letter, and my name MARTINE @gmail.com. That's tough because there's so much advice that I learned over the years. Maybe just the easy one is don't give up. So just keep going, keep trying, and something good will come to you. My name is Martine Lee. I live in Stratford, Ontario. Thank you for coming beyond the brand with me.